Remnants Homebrew coming at ya. All right, we've got a beer review for ya. Today, it's one that comes from Great Divide. And you know, I may have had this before. I honestly don't recall. Probably I had this a while back, I would guess. This is the Titan IPA from Great Divide. It's a standard American IPA. It's 7.1% ABV, and it's around 65 IBUs. So we'll get this one cracked open and give it a whirl. Wow, this is an amazingly clear beer. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is seriously clear. Wow, it has about a one finger head. All right, now the little disclaimer. This was bottled on July 8th, and today is August 24th. So what is that? 16, a month and 16, month and a half old. All right, let's get a nose on it. Well, it's much more mild aroma than I really had anticipated, to be honest with you. I did get this like light breadiness, a little bit of sweet malts, and a little bit of citrus off of it. And that pulled up a little more sweetness with a swirl. I can't do much of a swirl with this. There was like a slight spiciness to it, a little bit of floral on there. You know, I'm not even really getting anything in the resin area. I'm getting like some like orange blossom, I would say, on it. But okay, well, let's give it a shot here. Cheers. Interesting. You know, I was expecting a lot more from this, to be really frank. Coming off at 7.1% ABV, I was expecting a lot more. I'm getting a good bit of bitterness on the backside. I do get some of that floral hop on there, and I would say, kind of like in the nose, it's like a orange blossom kind of a thing coming off of it. There's a nice moderate sweet malt on this one. Very nice, just a light bit of caramel. You know, I'm getting like a hint of pine, but it comes off more like an interesting bitterness. It makes me think of like the bitter flavor of having like chewed on that orange blossom, you know, more than a pine. It's a different kind of bitterness coming off of it. So whatever hops they used and whatnot, yeah, it comes off a little bit different, slightly earthy, slightly spicy. Spicy actually is a very good description on this beer. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent beer. You know, it's a very drinkable beer. Probably a lot of other beers, honestly, I'd rather have first. Kind of this odd bitter flavor, kind of off, kind of green, I guess you would say. You know, almost, I wouldn't say so much vegetable-like, but green, you know, like green plants. You know, just a hint of citrus, but again, very light. It's barely there. Just like there's, you know, a slight hint of pine, but it's really barely there. You know, I would think that 6 weeks, too, wouldn't be too long of a time frame for an IPA. I mean, yeah, sure, I'd rather have it within 2 weeks, but 6 weeks shouldn't be, you know, isn't unreasonable. Anyway, yeah, you know, frankly, I can't do more than say this is a B- IPA. I really can't. It has some nice flavors, but it has some off bitter flavors too. And those really detract from the beer a great deal. I think overall, I'm going to put this one at an 81 for an American IPA. All right, well, for my overall rating, my personal rating, I do have to drop a bit. I am a bit disappointed. My expectations from Great Divide are very high, and you know, Yeti's fantastic, and I've had the Hercules IPA, but this just doesn't quite meet that standard, but more so because I get this kind of like, what I call this like green plant flavor from the hops, and it might just be the batch that I have, I don't know, but you know, I got to drop all the way down to a 79 puts it in the C+ range. There's just so many beers I would much rather have. So what can I say? You know, we just tell it like it is, folks. Maybe I'll get a fresher batch someday, but I picked through the bottles they had, and this was the freshest they had in there. So anyway, from Clement's Home Brew, we're just saying life is too short to drink cheap beer, and I will see you in the next beer review.